pick up, you know, trash or whatever, and you got maintenance on the trees, keeping them all trimmed up and everything. It's a constant everyday job.
Always, and stuff you don't see happens over the years.
Right.
When you have so many people that compact the ground and
Right.
takes a toll on the trees, and then you have them falling all the time. And as with everything else with the budget cuts and the cutbacks, we're all going to have to pick up that slack. And sometimes we tend to forget it's government and we think it'll take care of itself. But it's, as far as I remember, it's like $7 and so much of each person's tax money that for a year that actually goes to help take care of the park, and that's not a great deal for taking care of your parks.
And I'd say your job is a full-time job too, being park manager. You've got all these things to deal with and all these things to take care of, and it has to be done.
It does, just as government is anything, there's a lot of paperwork. A lot of paperwork.
But you know, it's so wonderful. I mean, people take it for granted that we've got just a wonderful park that you can get your families together and go up there and have reunions, homecomings. Just go up and have a cookout. Don't take it for granted that we've got Levi Jackson State Park right here in the town of London. I mean, you can go anytime.
You know, that is true. There are a lot of states that do charge you a fee to go into their park.
Right.
And we have a lot of people call and say, how much is it to get into the park, much less to have a picnic. Kentucky does not charge that fee, and you are welcome just to come in, walk, where who knows in the future, in order to keep our parks up, what that may come to.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it's got such a history, like I said before. I mean, you can't even scratch the surface of the amount of history that the park has.
If Daniel Boone is your interest, that definitely is the case there, because the Boone Trace, actual section there where the McNitt massacre happened, and the Wilderness Road actual section is located there. Of course, Highway 229 took a lot of that. But now we are more historically minded to preserve those things.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's very historical.
Any plans for the future, maybe like extending more shelter houses or anything like that?
Well, with the budget is the problem.
The budget, yeah.
Right now, but they are looking at any method of revenue that we can, so things may change from time to time, you're right. But keeping up what we have now is quite a chore for the whole Kentucky Department of Parks.
Right, and you know, you've got so many different spots there. You know, you got, as you come up the hill, and then on the other side, and then over here going, you got a little, you know, the area there. You've just got so much to play with, you know.
Well, we are located at the edge, of course, of city limits of London, so we have a lot of drive-throughs, convenient for people to just come through, and as you say, some not quite understanding about throwing out the garbage, but we like the leave no trace behind thought.
Exactly.
So they might keep that in mind.
There.
I'm sorry, they might keep that in mind also. If I could encourage people to make sure you do pick up your own garbage or carry it with you to someplace, not throw it in the park, or stop and leave it in a can. We have them.
And respect the park. That's exactly right. People need to show respect. You know, especially you look around at different places, you see vandalism. You know, wouldn't that be terrible to see vandalism on them big old nice pretty stones and stuff? You know, that's why you guys are constantly keeping an eye out.
Well, I am sorry to say, but yes, that is quite often in the park, and not everybody appreciates what they have. So yes, teach your kids and anyone you see that's doing something like that in the park. It's your part too to help take care of the park. Right. And we are cut back quite a bit, that we desperately need people's help.
All right, and you can call this number 606-330-2130 to get involved, to ask questions, and I'm sure she can point you in the right direction information-wise. And they are needing people right now just to even come and work maintenance or anything.
We will begin to take those applications. Now they work primarily through a temp service called a DECO. And Cumberland Falls and possibly us will be having job fairs in order for those people to become familiar with that. We did it last year. But you can pick up those applications at the park, fill those out and bring those in to us. We're not sure where and what we'll be needing those, but they're welcome to pick them up right now. Very good.
And let's talk about the park ranger. How long is the park ranger stationed there? I mean, is he pretty much there all the time?
Oh, well, again, that is another sort of cut back on things.
Yeah.
So we have to watch those hours, and there will be another one starting here about April, but
Very good.
they will be around. If you need to ask questions for them, almost any of our park staff can answer some questions
Right.
for you. That's another thing that a lot of locals can remember, that they used to work at the park when they
Right.
were going to college or in school, so that's another remembrance for them.
And a lot of people don't realize this, if you get out of line, the park ranger has the right he can arrest you.
This is true, and has.
And has
Yes.
that authority.
He certainly does. He is law enforcement, and speeding in the park, all that, destroying public property.
Right.
Keep that in mind, yes. We are like a little city in itself out there.
I noticed the speed bumps. Now, they haven't been there too awful long, but I was coming through the other day, and the new speed bumps right there in front before you get to the camping area.
True, right. There's a lot of people don't remember about those speed bumps, and I've heard some loud crashes going down through there. But again,
Right.
if you were driving the proper speed, the speed bumps would not have affected you going through the park. They forget that it is a park on their cutting from 229 to 25.